Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
Hello, I'm Rainbow.
And today we are back with Part B. That's day 2 of our look at streaming services. Emmy and Oscar had a big choice to make yesterday, right? They were living maybe in a new apartment or something. They were talking about which streaming service to get. They had 2 choices. Hotflix and ABC Plus. Now, don't go looking for those on your computer. They're not real. But I think most of us can guess that Hotflix is like Netflix and ABC Plus is probably like Disney Plus.
There's also Hulu Plus.
Oh, is there? But do people here get Hulu Plus?
I don't think so.
I know that Disney Plus and Netflix are both very popular here in Taiwan. And I know you can get them because I have both of them.
Do you use both? Or
No.
Which one do you use more often?
I use Netflix more, I think.
Too.
Yeah, Disney Plus is nice to have. And if my nephew comes over or for kids or something, or if I'm in the mood for a superhero film, I will definitely watch it. But I think, like Emmy said yesterday, Hotflix, Netflix, has a lot more choice. Yeah, so I think I probably watch more Netflix. How about you?
I also realized that my favorite things to watch are on Netflix, but one thing that did bother me about Disney Plus was I didn't like the interface as much.
Oh, the way you pick the shows. Okay.
And I don't think it automatically loads the next episode or something like that.
I find also they don't have new shows as often as Netflix. Now, I love Netflix, but I do also have normal TV because I find sports and news on normal TV, cable TV, old style, also very useful. But yes, for movies, TV shows, really good documentaries, right?
Yeah,
shows
Netflix
about
has
real
great
things,
ones.
history, or what's happening in the world. Netflix really is great, but there of course are so many more we can mention, but we won't get into those because now it's time to begin part B of our dialogue of Let's Talk Streaming Services, back with Emmy and Oscar.
Right.
Emmy and Oscar are dealing with a streaming problem.
What's going on with the streaming service?
Beats me. That's the third pause, and the picture's dot pattern is really visible.
Yeah, it makes for a horrible watching experience.
All right, we are back with Let's Talk Streaming Services. We're still talking about these wonderful ways of getting so much entertainment into our homes, on our TVs, on our computers, or even on your cell phone, right? If you want to do it that way. But sometimes modern technology, even though it's wonderful, doesn't always work exactly right. Sometimes we have problems. So let's look at that in part B, fixing a streaming problem. You're in the middle of a movie and suddenly everything freezes and you're like, oh, what's going on? The internet's broken. What's gonna happen? It does happen, often when the best part of the movie is on, right? Right at the end of the movie or something like that. Anyway, so let's see what happens when Emmy and Oscar are dealing with a streaming problem. If it's me, I'm just gonna yell at the TV.
Emmy says, what's going on with the streaming service?
I've said that before.
Annoyed,
Yes, so obviously they're looking at the screen and it's not looking right. Maybe things have just stopped. Maybe everything's getting very hard to see. Maybe it's kind of jumping or something like that. Now, Emmy is not a computer genius or expert. She doesn't really know. And Oscar, He also doesn't really know. We know that because he says, beats me. That's just another way of saying, I don't know. I have no idea. This question beats me. It's a question I cannot answer. But he knows exactly what the problem is. He can see it just like Emmy can. And he says, that's the third pause. And then it starts again. A pause is like a short stop. And the picture's dot pattern is really visible. I guess this is when it goes from a nice clear picture to kind of fuzzy and, it looks like the internet is very slow or something like that. So yes, when you don't know the answer to a question and you're admitting it, you're not trying to go, well, I think it's this or it might be that. No, you're just like, I give up.
I have no
beats
clue.
me. It beats me. I have no idea. I cannot help you answer this question or solve this problem.
Yep. And sometimes when that happens, what you see is, or when always pauses. So if there's a pause in the movie, that means it stopped for the time being. It hasn't stopped completely forever, just stopped for a moment. If I talk, I can also have a pause in the middle, like a comma or a period, when we stop briefly before we continue on. So a pause can be used as a noun, or I can pause as a verb.
Exactly. If you ever use Wi-Fi in your house and you go too far from the machine, maybe with your headphones, you'll often hear this pause happen in the sound or the picture. And sometimes you might see a weird pattern on the screen of your TV or computer or whatever. A pattern is basically a repeating kind of picture or set of colors or set of lines or design. A very simple pattern that you can probably think of is a chessboard. When you look at a chessboard, it's got black and white squares, black and white, all the way down. That's a very simple pattern, often on people's clothes. I might have flowers or lines in a certain way. And if you look around the side or the back of my shirt, you'll see the same pictures in the same position, arranged in the same way. Those are the types of patterns we might see. Now, computer screens don't usually show patterns, especially if you're watching a movie, so it is often a sign that something is not quite right.
Right. And if something is visible, that means it is able to be seen. For example, I can say, a weird pattern is visible on the screen. So I can see something is very off. Now, the opposite of visible is invisible. When we put IN before, it means no. So invisible means can't see a thing at all. Visible means I can clearly see it. And if there's a problem that's visible, we definitely want to solve it, especially if it's causing us to pause for our watching experience and giving us a headache.
Absolutely. All right, back to Emmy. She's also trying to figure out what's wrong with the streaming service.
Emmy says, yeah, it makes for a horrible watching experience. Nobody likes to have this streaming. The whole point of streaming is it should be smooth, right? No one has this not streaming service where it's not smooth, not moving. So that's awful. It's horrible.
Right. When it stops once and then goes back to normal, that's okay. But if it keeps happening every 5 or 10 seconds,
it's annoying.
It can be very horrible for you to watch it that way. Something horrible is terrible, awful, really bad, horrendous.
Makes me upset.
Just not good in a really big kind of way. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, having your movie interrupted. Having your house burned down would be really horrible. So it's a word we just use when we say, this is really not good. Yeah. But of course, not good can change in your life. All right, we're going to take a break and hopefully they will be able to solve this horrible problem that is bringing them all sorts of trouble with their movie.
There are no red lights on the router, so that's not what's causing the problem.
Maybe we should get in touch with our internet provider.
Hey, did we change our internet speed when we got the streaming service?
I don't believe we did.
I think that increasing our internet speed may just fix our streaming problem.
All right, we are back and we are trying to figure out what is wrong with the streaming service. It's just not working well. And it's making it really hard to watch the movie for Emmy and Oscar. Now, Oscar, he's finally trying to figure out what's going on. He's looking at the machines in front of him and all the things on the computer. And he says there are no red lights on the router. So that's not what's causing the problem.
Wi-Fi's fine.
A very good thing to look at. The router is, yes, basically the thing that brings the internet connection into your house. If you have a router, you can plug things into that and get internet, or you can put one of those little antennas on. You can get Wi-Fi if you're nearby. That is basically giving internet to your home, to your space. And if the green lights are flashing, usually that's a good sign. That means information and everything's going back and forth. Red lights usually mean problem, turn it off, plug it in, maybe it's broken. But he says there are no red lights, so it seems to be working fine.
Emmy's not convinced. She says, maybe we should get in touch with our internet provider. It seems like they think the problem's the internet, which I mean, often it is.
Sometimes the company has a problem. It's not your machine, it's the whole service.
It's down.
So many people would be having the same problem at the time. Who knows? But Oscar has another idea. He suddenly realizes, bing, something pops in his mind and he goes, hey, did we change our internet speed when we got the streaming service? Ooh, good question to ask, but a little late to ask it now. So basically, he's saying before we had the streaming service, we were looking at YouTube videos or downloading website pages and stuff like that. You don't need a lot of speed. You don't need a lot of information going into your computer or your router quickly. But of course, watching a movie with a beautiful picture and all sorts of stuff happening, that requires more data, more information, and more speed for your internet router. So you might have to pay more for that too if you want to be watching your movies on your streaming service with no problem. You need speed.
Speed is very important. It's how fast your internet is, how fast you can run, how fast your car can go. Speed is talking about how fast. We can calculate speed in a lot of ways. For Wi-Fi, there's like how many like TB or how many KB, MB. And there's a lot of different speeds for all kinds of distances. For running, there's like kilometers or how many per whatever. These are a unit of measure to see how fast something or someone is.
So they might need more speed in order to get their movie working properly.
Emmy says, I don't believe we did.
Well, so she's remembering too, yeah, we signed up for Hotflix and we paid all that, but we didn't get in touch with the phone company or the internet company to also pay more for more speed. So that could be why things are not really going very smoothly
at all.
And back to Oscar. He says, I think that increasing our internet speed may just fix our streaming problem. So hopefully this is not a big thing. They don't have to get a new computer. They probably don't even have to have someone come to the house. They can probably, maybe even in the next few minutes, call the phone company or the internet provider, agree to pay more, and soon they'll have that extra speed, and soon after that, or even right away, their movie will be back to normal, but they might have to finish the movie tomorrow or something. I don't know. But hopefully it won't be a big problem to solve. That's good advice, though, for everyone who's thinking of getting a streaming service. Make sure your internet and your router and your internet speed can keep up with all of those great movies you want to watch. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with one more day of talking about streaming services. We'll see you then. Emmy and Oscar are dealing with a streaming problem.
What's going on with the streaming service?
Beats me. That's the third pause, and the picture's dot pattern is really visible.
Yeah, it makes for a horrible watching experience.
There are no red lights on the router, so that's not what's causing the problem.
Maybe we should get in touch with our internet provider.
Hey, did we change our internet speed when we got the streaming service?
I don't believe we did.
I think that increasing our internet speed may just fix our streaming problem.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 pause 名词暂停。There was a short pause before she answered the question. 她回答问题前停顿了一会儿。下一个单字 pattern 名词图案。I don't like the pattern on that scarf. 我不喜欢那条围巾上的图案。下一个单字 horrible 形容词糟透的，令人不快的。The weather was horrible yesterday. It rained all day. 昨天天气真糟糕，整天都在下雨。最后一个单字 speed 名词速度。Can you lower your speed? 你可以放慢速度吗？ Lower 指的是降低。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 beats me 我不知道，这是一个口语用法，直译为难倒我了，意思就是我不知道。我们来看看这个对话。Who won the game last night? 昨晚比赛谁赢了？ Beats me, I didn't watch it. 我不知道，我没有看。下一个文法 make for something 造成导致某事物，这是一个不可以分的动词片语。注意这里不能使用进行式。我们来看看这个例句。The heavy snow made for a colder evening. 大雪让夜晚更加寒冷了。最后一个文法 in touch 联系，前面必须搭配 be 动词或是搭配 get、keep、stay 来表示取得联系、保持联系的意思。后面可以加上 with 再接对象。我们来看看这个例句。I'll be in touch with you after I finish the report. 我在完成报告后会与你联系。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki. And I'm Winnie. Oh, Kiki, you are so cute. Did you know that you are just the bee's knees? Bee's knees? My knees are normal. That's not very nice.
Okay, no. Kiki, this is a very common phrase, and it's actually a compliment.
Oh.
It's telling them how sweet you are, how nice you are. You're just the bee's knees.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It has nothing to do with your knees. Your knees are fine.
Okay, so in English, sometimes there are idioms and phrases that might not be what it seems, and it might actually mean something else. So today, we are going to work on some phrases.
Let's go. Let's work on our phrases.
Okay, the first one is 振作 or 打起精神.
Keep one's chin up.
Chin up.
Chin up.
Keep one's chin up. Keep one's chin up.
Keep one's chin up.
Keep one's chin up. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. 1 point for you. 哽咽
Lump in one's throat.
Lump in one's throat.
First, chest.
Lump in one's throat.
Lump in one's throat. That was a quick answer right there.
Yeah.
Are you confident?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Lump in one's throat. Sounds like the second one.
The second one. Okay, lump in one's throat. And you are correct. Very, very good. What have we learned today?
We heard a lot of new phrases today. Let's learn more about them. The first one is keep one's chin up. This phrase originated from America in the late 19th to early 20th century. The first time it appeared in written form was in a newspaper called the Evening Democrat. The article read, "Keep your chin up. Don't take your trouble to bed with you." We deal with a lot of daily stresses, but we can't let them beat us down. The phrase is used to describe staying brave or confident and keep on trying, no matter how tough the situation. Our second phrase is lump in one's throat. It is a feeling of tightness in your throat because of a strong emotion, especially when you feel sad or you want to cry. This phrase actually comes from the physical reactions of the muscles in the throat and when it tightens during feelings of high emotions. But remember, it doesn't mean that there's actually a real lump or a physical lump. It is just the feeling of it. All right, so those are our phrases for today. Kiwi later.